This is Prime7 News at 6:30 with Daniel Gibson.
Tonight, a man in custody after an 83-year-old father was stabbed to death in Sydney's west. A mother dies in hospital after being strangled in her home earlier this week. Elon Musk unveils a massive rocket that'll take 100 people to Mars. And a big weekend in the footy with grand final preparations well underway. Good evening. A 61-year-old man has been found dead on his smouldering property on the Central Coast. Police say he'd been backburning trying to save his home. They're now on the scene trying to figure out what happened.
In a charred bush clearing, the still smouldering scene of a tragedy. The property owner had been trying to backburn to protect his own land.
Son is in custody accused of a brutal and deadly attack on his father in Western Sydney. Police say the 83-year-old died from horrific head injuries and that his son may have entered a local preschool before he was arrested.
A son believed to be responsible for an act of horrific family violence. 39-year-old Steve Bojnovic was taken into custody to be questioned over the death of his father.
A 35-year-old mother, allegedly strangled at the hands of her estranged partner, has died. Blair Dalton leaves behind a young son, a broken family, and a growing conversation about domestic violence as her former boyfriend faces an upgraded charge of murder.
Blair Dalton's father packs his grandson's belongings into his car. The little boys will never come home to mummy.
Coming up, Elon Musk reveals the massive rocket that could take you to Mars. And you've got to be kidding, the new yoga trend that's taking off around the country. Elon Musk has unveiled a lofty new ambition at the International Astronautical Congress in Adelaide. The entrepreneur wants to see a sustainable city of 1 million people living on Mars. He plans to take 100 at a time in a rocket bigger than an A380.
Taking 3 months in a really good scenario, but maybe as much as 6 months.
He hopes to start transporting supplies within 5 years and people in 7. She's one of the most popular comedians on TV, but today Julia Louis-Dreyfus shared something serious. Almost a fortnight after a record win at the Emmys, the 56-year-old has revealed she's been diagnosed with breast cancer. She's now preparing to fight, but for more than just her own life.
The diagnosis came a day after her record-breaking Emmys win.
Haddock, 7 News.
Nice and strong.
Might take him on my bike. He's like a horn. He's very loud, isn't he? The share market finished up at the end of a choppy session today. Mining stocks were among the best performers, though. Oriton, they're weighing up its options after posting a full-year loss, and it was a mixed day for our big banks. The Aussie dollar is down slightly against the US, 78.43 US cents. Sports on the way, including the final word from both AFL coaches ahead of tomorrow's decider, and at home with the family of a Cowboy fullback, Lachlan Coote, before the NRL Grand Final.
Tonight's sport brought to you by Origin LPG for great offers and a chance at prizes for your club.
We were invited to the Coote family home in South Windsor where Lachlan grew up. He's the second youngest of 7 children, and on Sunday the Coote clan will be at ANZ Stadium hoping the pint-sized Cowboy can win a second premiership.
The entire family is gearing up to watch Lachlan Coote in Sunday's NRL Grand Final.
Meteorologist Karl Lijnders will be along next to have a look at a long weekend weather forecast, and we thanks to Kiara for this photo taken at beautiful Taree.
Hello, Karl Lijnders with a look at the long weekend weather around Australia. Well, for those who have got a long weekend, looking pretty good for the majority. We do have a cloud band developing through central areas, and that's connected to a jet stream very active over the weekend, and it will fuel another storm outbreak, well, the first one of the season through eastern Australia. But as you can see, temperatures have moderated now through the outlook period. So we've lost the high heat and replacing that with some showers and storms. Rain at times across the weekend will give way to a thundery outbreak from Monday, then sweeping down the coast rather, and then continuing through Thursday. Northeasters in the south will keep things warm to hot ahead of a thundery change that will sweep up through the outlook period. So we're going from very, very high heat with dry air to now showers and storms. Look at the colours behind me. Heaviest rain across the country, no doubt, since around April, and now starting to see some showers and thunderstorms with the build-up over the Northern Territory. That means fire dangers coming down throughout tomorrow, and that'll continue through Sunday. Good news there with those fires still burning out of control in some spots. Cool in the north tomorrow with patchy rain, fine in the south, although windy over elevation, and we'll see conditions become a little bit more unsettled in that northern half through Sunday. Storms developing at night and some patchy rain making it towards Tamworth, maybe even Dubbo might pick up an afternoon shower, but fine up and down the coast to around Coffs Harbour. Not a bad weekend at all. For the grand final in Melbourne, it's going to be not too bad, but in Brisbane, 32 degrees. We'll get to Melbourne now. 16 degrees with a shower or two clearing, and for Sydney for the grand final, 24 degrees at Homebush Stadium, but at the game's kick-off, Daniel, 18 degrees. It's a pretty good weekend across southeastern Australia. Have a nice weekend and see you Monday.
Look forward to that. Thank you, mate. Well, 2 monkeys stolen from Symbio Wildlife Park last year have become parents after being returned safe and sound. Gomez and Joe are now celebrating the arrival of twins. The pygmy marmosets were born 3 weeks ago and still only weigh 15 grams each. And that's your news for this Friday, the 29th of September. Thanks again for your company. I'm Daniel Gibson. Don't forget to wind your clocks forward 1 hour this weekend as well. Have a great long weekend. Bye for now.